It's been a while since I made a video. I kind of got inspired by some stuff I was reading on Twitter. Anyway, I was reading about trading competitions, and a lot of people were talking about those, and I was just kind of agreeing with some people who were saying trading competitions don't teach very good habits, and they're kind of dumb. And I figured I'd talk about that, but I know that people always kind of wonder like, who are you to talk about these things? And um, I've traded physical commodities before, which is very different than futures trading. It wasn't as hard because, sorry, my cat's being like real annoying, but it wasn't as hard as just what I've done this year, even though I've made way less money than I used to make trading that physical commodity. That maybe I'll get back into that at some point to build up my trading. Okay, we're just gonna have to put you in my lap, aren't we? Okay, kitty cat, come here. Yeah. So, I don't know. I know some things. I've worked on it for a long time. I know how hard it is. Um, but I don't really consider myself like that much of a authority on trading. But, finally I've had, well, knock on wood. Hopefully we'll be finishing with my first really good profitable year in trading if I don't make any really bad decisions for the next 2 months. So first let's just kind of look at what I've been doing. I use a lot of prop firms. I also used a live account. I actually had more money that I could risk than this, but I kind of chose to save a lot of the money I'd made from my old job in order to reduce the stress of needing to make returns. I think I was used to always making enough money to cover all my expenses, so I figured I would just get back to that, and that was costly last year. Having the approach of I'm kind of like waiting out a non-compete as well from that physical trading job. So I get paid a bit in the meantime to effectively just honor my non-compete. But anyway, so just reducing the stress by not trying to cover all my expenses, but just see how well I could do trading. And I live relatively austere existence, so at least for the past couple months, I have covered my expenses. A lot of the returns have come in the past couple months, where I've kind of ramped up a bit as I got more confident. But anyway, the way I did it is I basically had a personal account that started at $1,200 or $12,000. I started a Robinhood at $1,300, and I basically generated $3,400 in like swing trades there, and I effectively doubled the live account. I don't recommend trying to do that, but I kind of diversified myself across a lot of prop firms as well. And kind of the added benefit is I still have this money left, so it's not like I put in 35 grand and I only got 36 out. It's like I put in 35, but I still have this original amount 25, and I've gotten all of the investment in the props back plus some profit to basically equate to 100% return on the capital that was invested, without losing the original capital really, because I still have most of those prop accounts, for example. And it's kind of complicated to combine everything together, but sorry, my cat's just being really funny. Anyway, so I've always been obsessed with this Calmer ratio, which is really just your return to drawdown annually. So we only have year to date. And I kind of cheat here by saying worst drawdown year to date was April, when I basically started to go long 2 days early. And it was probably my best trading ever in that I didn't average down, which allowed me to survive it until the mega tariff tweet. You can kind of see this. It was mainly in this account, so this is probably right at the bottom-ish. And I actually trade long and short, and I trade gold, and so it's not like I've just been long the market. It kind of looks that way, but It would have been a good year to be long the market. If I had just been long the market, hopefully I would have made more money than this. Yeah, because in theory I could have scaled up. So, um, yeah, could have accomplished all of this by just being long the market, but that won't always be the case. At least I don't think so. It kind of feels like that sometimes. Um, but yeah, anyway, so we still have like, got my, well, Kat, you're gonna have to stay with me now because you keep meowing. So now you have to stay here. Um, let's see. Yeah, I've got like some Apex PAs and one kind of problem I've always had. I guess I'm just gonna do a long rant about a bunch of stuff I've been meaning to make videos about for this year. I've always had a problem with a lot of affiliates on prop firms, which I might do that one day. So like I'm not gonna hate on them for wanting to make money, but I'll hate on them for like two things actually. One, a lot of them really don't show how much money they invest to get their return. Some of them do. I respect the ones that do because you should at least show how much money you put into evaluations and funded account. Like all you should show the profit and loss, not just the profit. And the real expense with prop firms is the actual money you put in. And my second complaint about the affiliate stuff that I think is like, I've only seen one guy do something about it. I think it's like Brian Stunk, maybe. He had at least a cash back program, I believe, where you get like 5% cash back if you use his affiliate code, I think. Or some, if I'm not sure if I understand that right. But I think, or at least like Kelly, I think there's a lady, Kelly Ann, who will like help you dispute your payouts if you use her code. She seems nice. Um, yeah, but I honestly think like a lot of affiliates just kind of, it's almost like they just want to be paid for the content they make, which to some degree is understandable, but to me it feels like a lot of the content is not that great, and it's just stuff that it feels kind of like they just are trying to get their own bag and they don't really care about giving you value. They're more grifty to me. A lot of affiliates just feel very grifty. And so if I ever do that, I plan to like do it in some way where, um, I don't know, like I'd like to actually offer people something in return, whether it's like my time or thoughts on their strategy or psychology, just something. Because I have worked with a bunch of traders from my previous job, and like, I'm not the best, but like I can help people. I can help people like not make really bad decisions, if that makes sense. Like I could be pretty good at getting people to where they're at least not like gambling and ruining their lives. Like I think that's something I could offer. Couldn't promise that you'll be profitable, but I could get you to at least not ruin your life. So, of course, a lot of people don't want that. They want to sign up for some guy that's like going to promise them a lot of returns, but that's bullshit. Just to be blunt, it takes a lot of skill. Uh, I don't know. So, yeah, probably won't have too many takers on that, but that's what I could offer. But yeah, just a quick word on trading competitions as well. Um, I think the best way to do a trading competition would be like to weight your return by your risk adjusted performance too. So it would be like a net score where it's like if you make 10,000%, but your drawdown is like 90%, you should be penalized pretty heavily for that, because in real life it would be quite difficult to do that with real money and lose 90% of the money and still make good decisions. I guess some people could, but anyway. All right, Kitty, I'm gonna put you down. Can you please not meow? Okay. Um. Anyway, so that's just a thought. Risk-adjusted returns. People should care more about that. There's a lot of ways to judge it. Probably the best way is to look at your like average drawdown and over time rather than just your max. But I like the Calmer ratio, which is very simple. It's just your return divided by your worst drawdown for that year. So we could see that I was pretty bad in April with that at a 20% drawdown, which is the same as the market, but I was leveraged. So like I really wasn't even getting in until the market was already down like 15%. So I had too much leverage there, and kind of hurts my overall Calmer, which is just 5. But we just looked since April; it's about 10. The market itself since April is like either 11 or 10. It's or somewhere in there. So I've basically just kept up with the market in terms of risk adjusted return. But I would encourage people to judge not their performance versus the market. Um, Only would encourage you to judge your performance versus the risk adjusted return of the market. Um, yeah, because like that's kind of more important, really. It's all about just like how much stress and risk are you, how much, what's your payoff? And it's like, you know, I guess I wouldn't even necessarily say I beat the market this year. Like technically, it's 100% return on the money, but um, I don't know. I mean, it's complicated. People like to simplify things, but it is kind of complicated to be able to say you beat the market or not, in my opinion. Um, anyway, yeah. So trading competitions should care more about risk-adjusted returns. What else is there? I don't know. Like, I kind of like talking, but I don't like spending a lot of time making like really flashy content that's edited. I've done it before. I probably could. Maybe I'll become like a YouTube ho one day where I like, do the stupid thumbnails, and like have my, they like have their mouth open always and they look like their eyes are really big and they're so amazed that something that, and it always like, you'll also notice in the thumbnails, it often tells you like something that's wrong with you, like you're doing this wrong. And it's all just a play on human psychology that like salesmen have done. And you first tell the customer something's wrong with them, and it's kind of just like, I just kind of hate it. I really do. No one's So there's really probably not many people that are interested in this video because I just don't like doing manipulative shit like that. Maybe because I'm slightly autistic and I just like when people tell the truth. And I wish like people just had honest thumbnails and told the truth. And look, I might be a sellout one day just to profit a bit. But even if I am a sellout with my thumbnails, I don't want to be a sellout with the actual value I offer. So I'll have to debate whether or not it's worth, like the greater good of actually helping people. And I don't know, because, there probably is an argument that if you sell out and you do the stupid YouTube shit, that as long as you're actually offering people good value on the back end, then maybe it doesn't matter that you did all this manipulative, ridiculous, stupid looking crap, that you were just trying to get people to click on your video and buy your stupid affiliate code. And I don't know. I guess I'm a huge pessimist, but with like modern grift capitalism, like I don't have a problem with what capitalism is like intended to be. I just feel like right now in the late stage, like I think it's like very inefficient in a lot of ways. Like I don't really think capital is being efficiently allocated at the moment, but who am I to say? I'm just a dude that made, 36 grand in my trading this year so far, which isn't that much, but I'm very proud of it. It was very hard for me, honestly. And I don't feel like I'm to the place where I can not get a job once my non-compete's over. Probably not, but one day I think I'll be able to be full-time. And, I'd like to help some people along the way. I would really one day love to make my own firm where it actually just finds people that wouldn't have a chance to be full-time on their own and like let them be full-time working for a firm that's actually like designed for them to be free one day, where there's no non-compete and they can go be on their own without me after they've paid their dues. And I don't know. We'll see if I can do all that, but that's today's video. So I don't know if anyone actually. I also like admit I don't like getting like a bunch of negative comments and stuff. And like I remember last year when I made my first video, some guy said that like, because I previously had lost for like 10 years in my own trading, and he like was like, he's been losing for 10 years and hasn't realized that it's gambling. And like, I don't know. The guy's not wrong. I did gamble quite a lot in those 10 years of my own personal trading. But I mean, life's a bit of a gamble to that guy, and I just like fuck that guy. Like, excuse me, excuse my language, but like, I don't, dude. Do you think that like I hadn't also considered that like after 10 years of losing, maybe I should quit my trading hobby, and like that maybe I had just been gambling the whole time? It's like, yeah, I kind of came to that conclusion myself, and I at least stopped gambling for a year based on my returns. But you could argue it was gambling. I mean, it's almost like people in trading like to just define whether someone's a gambler or not based on if their trades made money. Like, if your trades made money, it wasn't gambling. Or if you made a lot of money, then it's definitely like, I mean, I don't know. It's people just people really get me down a lot, and so that's why I hesitate to make YouTube videos. I hesitate to even have a comment section that's on, because like I don't need to prove anything to anyone, but like I mean, like I'm tough where it matters, but like I don't like getting negative comments and a bunch of negativity in my life all day, and so that's kind of why I'm hesitating to do it. I feel like if 80% of people were positive, I'd probably be down to have like an open comment section and listen to what people say. 80-20 is fine, but yeah. So if you listen to this, and you have constructive feedback, that's like, I just ask that it's like not just like straight up vitriol. Um, I'm happy for criticism and ideas and thoughts, but I don't like, just like blatant like disrespect. And if that happens, I guess I'll just decide if I even want to make videos, or if I want to just like turn off the comment section and be a snowflake. I don't know, man. So, yeah, that's kind of it for now. All right, happy trading, I guess. And yeah, I don't know. I'm just gonna call it happy trading. That's it.